Hey, what up, guys? This is your boy Jimmy. I'm having issues here with my fan. My car was overheating while I was in traffic, and the dreadful overheating sign came out there, and I had to park on the side. The car was overheating. So, because it was overheating during traffic, I figured it should be related to the fan, because that's the common cause of the car overheating when it's in traffic. But it doesn't overheat when you drive normally, but it overheats when you're in traffic. So what I decided to do, I removed the thermostat so far so that I can drive around nicely during the day, but it still overheats when I'm in traffic. So today we're going to finally diagnose our fan issue and confirm that the problem is actually the fan, or is it the wiring, or is it our power from the fuses, the relays, or that DME signal. So between those options, it should be one of them if it is that. But judging from what I can see, I have my pump is pumping. Since the thermostat is out and it's still doing a similar issue, so it can't be that. So it should be related to the fan now. So before we do anything, let's quickly just diagnose the car. So I'm using BMW E90. So let's do this. Read vehicle data. Okay, as you can see, it's reading the vehicle data, showing us all the relevant things that we need: the VIN number, development code, engine number. So I'm driving an N46 BMW 320i sedan, but it should be the same with other BMW or even similar. Okay, another issue that could cause your fan not to go on is your switch, your fan switch. But I was monitoring the temperatures on my cluster while I was driving. The fan temperature sensor is actually working, so I don't think that's the issue. So let's look at the faults. Okay, electronic eccentric shaft sensor, electronic internal fault. Those faults are my car is currently running without the Vivtronic system. I managed to disconnect the Vivtronic system because it was also giving me issues a long time ago. So that could not be the main cause. So I can see we don't have faults related to the fan. But what we can do, we can try and activate the fan ourselves. So we go to vehicle information, then DME, and call up ECU functions down there. So let's try and run the fan and see if it's going to trigger. So let's trigger this. Let's go to trigger component. Guys, there is completely nothing. I don't hear a sound coming from the fan. The fan is not moving. The fan is not triggered. So confirmed the problem is fan related. So I'm going to go there and then see. We're going to do our powers, grounds, check our signal from the computer. I think the switch is out already, considering that we can't trigger this thing manually. So the switch can't be the fan switch. It should be power, ground, or signal. So we're going to check I'm not even going to check the relay, guys, and the fuse. I'm just going to go straight to the fan connector and then check the powers there. If our powers are there, our grounds are there, everything should be fine from the back, meaning that the fuse is right, the relay is right. So let's do that, guys. Before we do that, let's just trigger another thing so that you guys can kind of understand that this thing does work. So I'm going to trigger my fuel pump. I don't know if you heard that. The fuel pump is pumping, so the machine is working. So I do have communication with the vehicle, so it should be the fan which is our issue, because I did check it before. It was running, the fan, but it seems to have an intermittent fault, because it comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. Because I did initially think it was that before I changed my thermostat, but now let me stop talking, guys. Let's go to our powers and grounds. Two things: you can use a easy multimeter or test light. So the test light is much more easier because you can just touch the terminals there without poking it. Just make sure that you don't poke in there. If you don't have this, you can use your multimeter, but what you're expecting there is about 12 volts. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to test my power, and I'm also going to test my ground. So to test my ground, or my power in this case, I'm going to connect my test light to the ground point of the car, just like that, or any other ground, and then I'm gonna go straight to the connector, just unplug it. Okay, so I'm looking for the red and purple wire. Okay, I'm using one hand, guys. Let's put it here. Let's see how much we're getting. Okay, so we can clearly see that we have power. So this just confirmed that my fuse is right, my relay is also right, and my wiring going straight to this wire is right. Okay, so now I'm going to test my ground. So to easy test that, I'm going to take out this positive terminal. This is the positive terminal, guys. If you want to charge your car, you can charge it here. You put your jumpers positive, negative. So take this one, put it on the positive side, and then just like that, find the brown wire. We can see we have our ground. So what's next now is to test our signal. So with the signal wire, we usually get a voltage of 3.5. So I don't think that will be enough to power the test light. So we'll have to use the multimeter. To test it, I'm going to use Easter. So on Easter, we're going to go straight to service functions or vehicle management, and then troubleshoot, and then fault structure. Then we go straight to, or function structure, sorry. Go straight to electric fan, and then we click start there. Okay. Now we're going to activate the fan and see. So guys, as I was saying, I have a problem with my fan. Sometimes it goes on, sometimes it doesn't go on. Okay, so click on continue test. Next. Okay. So we already checked our power and ground. So instead of going to the lines and plugs, we already confirmed that we have power and ground. So this one I'm not gonna do. I'm just gonna go to activation, straight there. There you go. So now let's look at the voltages, starting from 3.5. Started the system, but my voltage now is stuck at 3.5. As you can see, it is confirmed that we have power and ground, but the issue is the modulated signal from the ECU. So we have an intermittent fault in the modulated signal, and that's why my fan is not being activated when it's supposed to be activated. So this just confirmed my diagnosis. I have a problem with that signal. So the switch here, and you expect the fan to run. I don't think it will run, because the switch will only help if the signal coming from the computer is working. So I'm not going to remove the switch, but we can also try that and switch on the car and see if the fan will run, but I don't think it'll work. So just to finalize my diagnosis, and some other guys might be skeptic about the fan being the main issue, so I connected another fan here. It's routed properly. So I'm going to start the test again. I'm going to trigger the fan. See, fan activation finished, but the fan is not moving. So diagnosis confirmed. It is our DME. Plus this computer has been giving me a lot of problems, guys, so I'm fairly confident that it is this DME that's giving me issues. Guys, so what's happening now is that my car is working, so the fan is spinning. I'm going to show you the kind of voltages that you're supposed to be getting when the system is working. So let's go outside so I can show you the signal voltage that you're supposed to be getting from your DME. 40%, 60%, 80%, 100. Okay guys, so now we're going to run the fan. Let's see if it works. Okay, so 20 factor 40. Let's go and see if it's spinning. Confirmed, guys. So we have an intermittent fault. It's going on and off. So please like, subscribe, and please leave comments. If you have any other questions about anything, just give me a shout. I'm more than willing to assist.